October 1347. A ship docks in Sicily. Everyone on board is either dead or dying, their bodies covered in black boils oozing blood and pus. Officials try to turn the ship away, but it's too late. Within 5 years, this ship will help kill over 200 million people, half of Europe's population. Some villages lost everyone, not most people, everyone. Today, you're about to discover the 5 deadliest pandemics in human history, and number 1 will absolutely terrify you. So 5. The 1918 Spanish flu 1. World War I is ending. Soldiers are coming home. Then people start dying. But this wasn't normal flu. This was a killer that hunted the healthy. Here's what made it nightmare fuel. You could wake up fine, develop a fever by noon, turn blue from lack of oxygen by evening, and be dead by midnight. The virus specifically targeted people aged 20 to 40, the healthiest people on Earth. It triggered a cytokine storm, where your own immune system destroyed your lung. The stronger your immune system, the more likely you were to die. In Philadelphia, 4,500 people died in 1 week. Bodies piled up so fast, they used ice rinks as morgues. In India, 17 million people died. In Alaska, entire villages were found with everyone dead, frozen in place. The global death toll, between 50 and 100 million people in just 18 months. That's more than World War I killed in 4 years. And then, just as mysteriously as it appeared, it vanished. Scientists still don't fully understand why it was so deadly, which means it could happen again. Number 4. Smallpox. For 3,000 years, smallpox terrorized humanity. Your body would be covered in fluid-filled pustules that merged together, making your skin look like one continuous blister. About 30% died. Survivors were scarred and often blinded for life. But smallpox's deadliest moment came when Europeans brought it to the Americas. In 1519, the Aztec Empire had 25 million people. Then smallpox arrived, brought by a single infected slave. Within 2 years, 8 million Aztecs were dead. The emperor died. Bodies choked the canals of Tenochtitlan. The Spanish didn't conquer the Aztecs, smallpox did. The same happened to the Inca Empire. Smallpox killed the emperor before the Spanish even arrived, triggering a civil war that destroyed the empire from within. Across the Americas, 90 to 95% of indigenous populations died from European diseases. That's 50 to 60 million people, wiped out within 150 years. Entire civilizations, languages, and cultures vanished forever. Throughout history, smallpox killed 300 to 500 million people total. But here's the miracle. We eradicated it completely. The last case was in 1977. It's humanity's greatest victory over disease. Number 3. HIV/AIDS. 5 young men in Los Angeles develop a rare pneumonia that only affects people with destroyed immune systems. Within months, similar cases explode across America. People are dying from infections their bodies should easily fight off. Their immune systems are simply shutting down. At first, they called it gay-related immune deficiency. The stigma was brutal. Patients were abandoned by families, refused treatment, left to die alone. Reagan didn't mention it publicly until 1985. By then, 12,000 Americans were dead. But HIV didn't discriminate. It swept through Africa, Asia, everywhere. By the mid-90s, it was a death sentence. You watched your body waste away over months or years. In San Francisco in the 1980s, young gay men attended multiple funerals every month. Entire communities disappeared. In sub-Saharan Africa, the devastation was apocalyptic. In Botswana, life expectancy dropped from 65 years to 49 between 1990 and 2002. Millions of children were orphaned. The death toll, 40 million people dead since 1981. That's more than the entire population of Canada. Today, antiretroviral therapy means HIV is manageable in wealthy countries, but it's not cured. 39 million people currently live with HIV, and in parts of the world without access to treatment, people are still dying. Number 1. The Black Death. Now we return to that ship in Sicily, because nothing in human history compares to what came next. The Black Death was bubonic plague spread by fleas on rats. A flea bite would introduce bacteria into your bloodstream. Within days, your lymph nodes would swell into blackish buboes the size of eggs. Fever consumed you. You vomited blood. Dark spots appeared as your tissue died. The smell of rotting flesh emanated from your still living body. From first symptoms to death, 3 to 5 days. Some died in 24 hours. The mortality rate, 30 to 60% of Europe's population. That's equivalent to 2.5 to 5 billion people dying today. In some cities, 80% of the population died. Entire villages were abandoned. Crops rotted because there was no one left to harvest them. The social collapse was total. Priests refused last rites to the dying. Families threw infected relatives into the streets while they were still alive. Bodies piled up faster than they could bury them. Mass graves called plague pits pits, held thousands of corpses each. People thought it was the apocalypse. Flagellants whipped themselves bloody. Communities massacred Jews, accusing them of poisoning wells. They killed cats and dogs, which made it worse because rats multiplied. The death toll, 75 to 200 million people worldwide. The world population didn't recover for 200 years. And here's what should terrify you. It came back again and again. Major outbreaks in 1361, 1369, 1374, 1390, 1400. The Great Plague of London in 1665 killed 100,000 people. And it's not gone. Bubonic plague still exists. There are 1,000 to 2,000 cases reported every year. There was an outbreak in Madagascar in 2017. The bacteria is still out there, living in rodent populations, waiting. The next pandemic isn't a question of if, it's when. And when it comes, will we be ready, or will history repeat itself?